Hello and welcome to episode 58 of the Talk Nintendo podcast. I am one of your hosts, Casey Gibson, and joining me this fine Hallows Eve, the one, the only, P. Burkham.
Hey, P. Burkham, I like that. You got my twindle in there right at the beginning.
Yeah, people gotta know where to find it.
Yeah, it's Halloween, it's Hallows Eve, and I'm so jealous of all of the local trick-or-treaters here because it's flurrying out, or it was, like, during, like, the peak.
That sounds like heaven.
It's like 26 degrees out and flurrying, and, you know, not heavy snow, just a nice flurry, like, not coating the ground, maybe getting, like, my car had some snow on it, like, you know, a little bit, because it was cold.
A dusting, if you will.
A dusting, yes, and that's just, nothing's better than that, because, like, you know, when you're walking around trick-or-treating, and your costume or whatever, you're hot. I remember always being so hot.
Hot like the Dickens.
Yeah, and so I remember, like, having to take off, like, my Dilbert. I was Dilbert once for Halloween. It was pretty great.
When you were like, I took off my Dilt, and I was like, oh my god, where's he going with this?
No, my Dilbert mask, and it was this big rubber mask that I got the day of.
Big rubber,
like, this is great. This is fantastic. And, like, I was wearing, like, a long sleeve shirt with a tie, you know, like Dilbert, but with the tie that goes up. The weird...
Oh, yeah, yep.
Yeah. Cool. Anyway, I'm just so jealous. I wish it was flurrying then. But I'm happy for the people now, so.
Yeah, not as cold here on the island, but it is chilly, finally. I think I'm checking my phone right now. It's about 45 degrees out, so.
Oh, that's
not nearly as cold as you, but
that's balmy.
For us, it's actually pretty cool. So it's because we had like 1 week of mid 40s, like in the beginning of, or maybe it was end of September, you know. And I was like, oh baby, here it is. I'm so ready. And then all of a sudden the heat came back, and my AC was gone, and it was miserable.
Yeah, I know. We had the same thing happen here. Like, it was like cold and it was wonderful. But yep, it's then another heat wave came. But I think it's officially gone now. So.
Well, you know where
the
it's
snow
not,
is here. Jimmy's
not
covered in
at
snow.
all.
Down in Australia, where it's getting hot.
Yeah, I believe. Right? Well, it's always hot down there. I'm pretty sure. No, I know that's a super ignorant thing to say, but
no,
they're just full of desert and hot land, right?
It never really snows in a lot of the parts of Australia. So,
Yep.
Yeah. But why are you talking about Australia?
Well, there are a few things. First, you know, obviously last week we talked to the boys from Giant Margarita who brought us Party Golf.
Ian and Lindsay.
And they were going to be at PAX Australia, and we're just so lucky enough to have a fellow friend of the podcast, listener as well. We've mentioned him before. Good old Lemonade. He actually was, you know, he's from Australia, so he flew over to PAX Australia and was actually sort of wrote in and gave us his impressions of the event. And, you know, would you like to read it, or would you like me to read it, Perry?
Well, first I'd like to say we should have sent him some Talk Nintendo podcast business cards. And he should have just been he could just be our Australian correspondent for Talk Nintendo.
We're hiring Lemonade on staff.
Yep, you're on staff now, Lemonade. So,
and here's his first piece of work.
He says, "Hi guys, I'm not going to do an Australian accent. Sorry. I want to, but I'm not going to. I'm writing to you directly from PAX Australia. The first thing I did after getting into the main hall was look for Party Golf because I knew you were having Ian and Lindsay on the show. I found them and had a good chat with Ian while playing the game, and after a few rounds I was totally sold. The game doesn't look that great in the trailer, but it really is super fun to play. I bought it on my Switch afterwards. Their other game, Party Crashers, is also fun." That's awesome. That's really cool. Thank you. And, well, you're welcome. You're welcome, right, is what we should be saying, right?
Yeah, I guess. Something like that.
Yeah. He goes on to say, I have a few comments on games in the Nintendo booth. So these are a bunch of games he played on Switch. First up, Golf Story. About what I expected from seeing gameplay videos. Seems good, but I didn't love it. And then now next you take the next one.
Next up, he saw Skyrim, which runs much smoother than I would have thought. It's not super high resolution, but it doesn't look bad at all. And yeah, I mean that's super encouraging to hear. I'm slowly getting a little excited for Skyrim.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Like every day, I'm like thinking, "Yep, like I'm on the hype train." So, next up, Rogue Singularity, which I don't think I've heard of. He says, "I can only describe it as a procedurally generated 3D obstacle platformer. It's most fun to try to get through the stages as quickly as possible. Each level is fairly short." Hey, that sounds fun.
Interesting.
Yeah, 3D obstacle platformer.
He also checked out Samus Returns, which plays very nicely. Hard to tell if I really like it after playing for just a few minutes, but I'm happy with it enough to buy it. Yeah, I think Metroid games, I feel like, don't really demo super well, because it's all about sort of exploring and then sort of seeing you upgrade over a period of time, So,
right.
But yeah, seems like just a few minutes was enough to convince him of a purchase, though.
The more I think about it, like that would be so good on Switch. It really would. Like, it should come to Switch
on that big beautiful touchscreen. I mean, touchscreen wouldn't really matter, but just that. Oh, the screen looks so good.
It does, and like I mean, they would have to. I mean, they would have to definitely remaster it. But think about it. Think about this. I just thought the Castlevania game that they did before, the 2D one,
yeah.
Mirror of Fate or whatever, they up-resed that for the platforms, for 360 and or maybe Xbox One and PS4. It was either PS4 or PS3 or but
no, that would be nice.
They did do that, so I mean there's precedent there to do that for Switch. I think it'd be really cool.
Then I might actually get around to playing it.
Yeah, I know exactly. I know. And then last up though we have Doom. And Lemonade goes on to say, "It's even better on Switch than I was expecting, especially in handheld mode. I already have it on Xbox, but I now want to rebuy it on Switch." And he went on to say, "I was also pleased that many of the indie games are interested in putting their games on Switch. So that's all for now. I love your show, so keep up the good work." Thank you, Lemonade.
Thank you,
are
Mr. Lemonade.
The best.
Indeedy.
Yeah. But yeah, Doom, I am stoked for Doom. I don't know if it's a day one purchase, but I'm thinking with the Amazon or Best Buy discount.
Yeah. No, I think
more,
I played Doom on PS4 and I think I bought it for like $20 or $30. And I got like a few hours in and I was enjoying it, but again, it was just like it's on the, you know what I mean? It's on the PS4.
I have to play it on the
I'm
TV.
I'm not, whatever other games came up and I got sidetracked. But no, that again, like you said, I don't know if it's a day one, but I will eventually end up with Doom. And just to piggyback real quick on that, I believe there was a sale. I think it might have been in Canada, but on Rabbids, Mario and Rabbids, down to $50. So I'm expecting other third-party publishers to also put sales, so I could see Doom and Skyrim, sort of being discounted not too far after launch, maybe, or that might be a really good, those two games in particular, if like a Target or something is having a buy two, get the third free
I was just going to say that.
Black Friday.
They have that going on now, or they just had it, but no Switch games.
Yeah, that's sort of a bummer.
So stupid, because it's like, I would have jumped on that.
They know.
They usually do that for pre-orders, and I would have bought Doom and Skyrim, and then probably Mario and Rabbids,
I wonder. I could still see that happening for Black Friday and including Switch games. Just because, you know what I mean? Like,
you're right.
Black Friday always has the good deals, so like,
dude, yeah, Black Friday's gonna be sweet.
If there are any Switch deals going on, it's gonna be on for Black Friday.
Yes, and we'll get into we have a lot of exciting news, I think, in the sales-wise stuff. But our goal this episode is to be extremely brisk because we have a couple weeks to catch catch up on the games we've been playing, and Casey has to edit some stuff after we're done. So
I got work to do.
We got work to do. Yeah,
we're working men.
Yeah. So again, thanks Lemonade for writing in.
Yes, thank
if
you,
anyone
sir.
else goes to PAX, and we're not there, you can write in too. It'd be fun.
Or if you just want to write anything in, you're always more than welcome.
Nope, gotta go to PAX.
Yeah.
No,
Dang
just
it, you
kidding.
need to have a legitimate reason.
Yep.
But enough of that business. Why don't we get into what we've been playing? And I believe you've been playing some co-op games, haven't you? I don't know if you've been playing them co-op, but I know they tend to lean that way.
Yeah, 2 of them. Yeah, I have been playing the first one here I'm going to talk about, Spelunker Party. You have to say party like party. Because
Party!
There's an exclamation point after it. Yeah, there you go. That was good.
Nailed it.
Yeah. Now, quick recap of what Spelunker is. It is the original, or not the original, but it's one of the earliest Kusage games from Japan, which is a translation of crap game. It might even be a swear. I don't know. It's kind of it's so bad it's good. It's so bad it's charming type game. The original Spelunker for the Famicom, which funnily enough I own. That was in one of that.
That's
I
so
have it,
funny.
yeah. And I've played it, and it's totally ridiculously
stuff?
hard. And yes, I mean it's. Oh, okay, yeah. So the reason why it's so so it's beautiful. I mean, the original game it looks great. It has this has cute music, cute characters. It's a platformer. You're going down levels, kind of like Donkey. It's a lot like Donkey Kong, a lot like Donkey Kong, except you're going down into caves, going down ladders, jumping off, and dodging stuff to collect treasure and keys to get through places. And apparently, if you know exactly what you're doing and can master it, you can get through it in 10 minutes.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, but the thing is it's so freaking hard because anything you hit is a one-hit kill. Anytime you jump off of a ledge and you land a millimeter beneath where you are standing, you die. In the middle of the air.
I hate that so much.
Yes, yeah, it's so bad. Now, all of this is kind of how Punch Out, the NES Punch Out, and then the Wii Punch Out, how it's kind of the same game.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
but with new graphics, and everything. I would equate that to the original one to this one. It's so similar. Of course, there's new physics, and it is easier. It's no doubt about it. It's easier. It plays way better.
Yeah, it
you
isn't
can judge your
so...
jumps a lot better, and yeah, and
well, at least they didn't leave that super old archaic design in there just cause it's sort of like Sonic, well, we left in those stupid rings or spikes you run into because that's what we've always done, and you're like, ugh.
Well, they are kind of in there though, but here's the thing: it's a lot more snappier, a lot more quicker. You have these checkpoints that you run through. There's a stamina bar on the top of the screen that's kind of constantly going down at a pretty brisk pace. But the thing is the game's pretty fast, and you're going through the levels. And you need a judge when you're gonna, it's if your stamina goes down, you die. So that's another little thing that adds to it. But passing through a little checkpoint will fill it. And then using a weapon there's this fan that you blow that can blow ghosts away. Just a little portable fan. That's what they call it.
Is this Sticker Star?
Yeah. And so you're just going through this game and it's really hard, but it's fun. It's fun. I found it's weird because it's so basic and it's not really beautiful looking. It's not really there's nothing really special about it. Besides the fact that you can play it with 3 other people with you, not only locally, but online, which is so cool. Like,
oh, see, that's nice that you could play online together.
And random. You don't need friends to play this game. You can go to a level, open up a party, people will join you, and then you can play through the level.
Oh, okay, that's really cool.
Yeah, and the cool thing is like you get 5 lives, and then if you lose those 5 lives, then you're dead, But if you're playing with other people, once you've lost your 5th life, then you're just downed at the checkpoint that you passed, and people can come revive you by just touching you.
Oh, okay, so that's nice. Yeah, that's a nice little... Yeah.
Now, the only other thing I'm going to say about this is that if you're planning on playing this with people, it's an extremely hard game. So, like, for instance, I don't know if it's a really good girlfriend/boyfriend game. Like maybe
for
someone who doesn't play as much as you, because there's no like bubble like in New Super Mario Bros. Where you can just press it and then when it gets too difficult.
So it's unforgiving.
Unforgiving. Every single person has to make it through the level, and there's no piggybacking at all.
So if one person doesn't make it, does that mean you fail then?
Well, no, actually.
Well, I guess you could always resuscitate them still, right?
You can do that, and they'll just die, but they can't play through the rest of the level, and then they won't get the rewards and stuff.
Okay.
So if that makes sense, like they can't finish the level, they have to do it themselves. So, yeah, I think it's $30 this game.
Yep.
There's a lot of content here. There's a really nice upgrade system where you find new uniforms to wear, upgrade your items that you have, and it's a retail game in Japan. And I see the appeal here, and I think it's good. And if you have friends that you can play with, I totally see the value there. Otherwise, it's kind of a hard buy, I think.
So really, so the multiplayer really adds that much more to it, you feel?
Yes, but also, like, well, I do, but also you can play it online, and that's fun too, but it's not as...
Well, yeah, couch co-op
incredible.
Is always going to be
incredible.
Best.
Of course. And also, you're going to want a big screen, because, like, no matter if you're playing with only 1 person or 3 people, it'll still divide it into 4, like the screen will, which isn't a big deal, but especially when you have a 130-inch projector like I do.
Oh, Mr. Fancy Smanchy.
But yeah, it's a really fun game. So I mean, it's a fun game. It's not really fun, but it's a good game. It's a good game.
It's an all right time.
Yeah, there you go. But so I'm gonna ping it over to you right now.
Oh. Well, I'm going to pong it my way then, huh?
No, I'm going to ping it to you. How can you pong it your way? As the ball is coming on the table, you like...
I just smack it into my chest.
Smack it.
Your point!
That sounds like something a Jimmy would do.
That's the metagame. See, you were anticipating the pong back. But I just one-upped you, and I was like,
pong
nope.
Front. All right.
Just gotcha. Well,
gotcha. Okay.
Well, I've been playing a little game called Super Ping Pong Trick Shot for the Nintendo Switch.
Nice.
Yeah, this is it's a game, all right. Now, you're gonna look at this game and you're gonna be like, "Wow, that looks like some grade A shovelware." It's got your pretty bare bones graphics. It's just sort of like a couple shapes in like a big 3D space, and you throw a ping pong ball into a cup. And that's pretty much it. But they play a little bit with the idea. Essentially, so there's like a campaign mode. I believe there's 80 stages, and each stage has like 3 sub-goals. So essentially, the main goal is just throw the ball into the cup. It could bounce, it could go on a fly, whatever. Just get it in the cup. But then the other little Like, sub-goals might be, like, bounce it off this wall into the cup, or make sure it bounces twice before it gets into the cup. So, you've got little things that would give you, a reason to go back into the levels and sort of explore if you really want to go, that depth into it. But essentially, to throw...
If you want to go into depth. Super ping pong trick shot. It's funny.
It's legit. If essentially, in order to throw the ball, it's pretty darn simple. You could just move the trajectory, with the stick. You aim it to where you want, and then sort of like a golf game, where it has a power bar, but you literally, like, you press A to start it, and then it keeps, like, it goes all the way up, and then it'll, if you let it fill up, it'll just restart at the bottom again, and you just try and hit A however much power you want. So, essentially, it's just like a guessing game. Like, I'm going to try one, and then I'm just going to sort of...
see what happens.
Yeah, see what happens, and then adjust. Oh, I need a little more trajectory. Oh, I need to throw it a little harder. And that's pretty much it. They do... funny enough, they have motion controls and touch controls in this game. But don't you dare try to use a Pro Controller or the Joy-Con grip, as those are not supported.
That's so weird.
We've seen with, like... Blaster Master Zero, when it first launched, it didn't have Pro Controller support.
Oh yeah, that was so bad.
But it was so weird to see it actually say it does not support Joy-Con grip. Because I'm like, isn't that just like, I didn't realize, like, the grip and holding it in your hands, like, really registered any different to the game,
Right. Well, I wish it didn't. You know why? Because I wish that I could just... see, this is the annoying part that no one really talks about on the Switch, is that you can't just play games with the Joy-Cons unattached like you would in a grip. Like, for instance, ARMS. You can't just play it with standard controls with detached Joy-Cons.
Yeah, see, like, it should just act like that, and then if I start moving it around, you know what I mean? Like,
right, and I know you can map your controls, but it's, I wish there was just a standard option, like, if you put the grips on, that it can make it like so that way you can just relax, and hold, how you can just kind of...
Yeah, sort of to your side or whatever.
Yeah, anyway.
Well, yeah, the motion controls and the touch controls, no bueno. Pretty horrible, actually. With the touch controls, it was either, like, full on 100% power, or, like, it would be, like, a tiny little dot, and it would just, like, the ball would just fall. And I was like, it was so hard to get it precision, you know what I mean? And
right.
Same with the motion controls, really. It, like, any of the flicks, it was either all or nothing, It was very hard to get, like, a nuanced shot. So I didn't really use those very much. But, yeah, I mean, the game, like I said, if you look at it, you would think it's like a throwaway, terrible game. But, honestly, controls pretty well using the touch, using just your standard controls. Some clever ideas, like, there are a couple different textures. So, like, some of the walls, like, if you hit, it'll be metal, so it'll actually bounce harder. Or one that's, like, cushioned, so you hit it and it doesn't really bounce that much off of it. They have moving platforms, all sorts of weird stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's actually oddly satisfying, like, to, like, okay. I got that shot, They've got, like, some other modes in there, which is actually what's sort of funny is there's, like, a multiplayer mode, which is sort of cool. It's, like, so think of, like, a cup in the center, and you and me, like, I'm on the left, you're on the right side of the screen, and it's just like, all right, you've got a minute, see who can get the most balls in there. And it's sort of like,
okay.
And, like, again, they'd have, like, moving platforms and stuff, but they also have items in this level where, like, you can get, like, an ink thing that covers up the other person's power bar. So it's like, oh, crap, like, you have no idea how hard you're shooting, Or, you get one that, like, multiplies where you throw, like, 5 balls for every... like, when you throw one ball, like, 5 of them go out. So obviously have better luck to make some in. But essentially, what this game is, it just runs thin real quick. They did a good job with the game. Like I said, it's not like it's a poor game. It's just sort of a thin concept. So,
Right.
your mileage may vary, but it's probably not going to be, too far of a drive, if you will. That being said, I think it's $4.99, so it is a cheaper game, and like I said, it is sort of oddly satisfying to throw the ping pong balls and make the shot. But yeah, other than that, it's like I would consider it a fine game. Like it did what it wanted to do. It's just not a very ambitious game.
Right, and kind of appropriately priced,
Yeah, so. Yeah. If it was like $9.99 or more, really anything over $4.99, I'd be like, oh, come on, guys. But I think at $4.99, if you want like a little side distraction for a night, it's not a terrible game. But cool. I think it's time to Pong it back over to you.
That was a good one, Case. Yeah, time to splash it over my way.
Oh,
yes, another game that I reviewed, Splasher. Yes, Splasher. Do you know anything about this game?
I sure don't. I know it's got some colorful looking graphics.
Yeah. Well, I literally just posted my review of this. It was funny. I picked up this review because I knew that waiting for Mario Odyssey was going to be awful. So I needed something to distract me. And I'm so happy because this game is freaking awesome. Love this game. Yeah, it's a platformer. It's kind of like a platformer with Splatoon ideas mixed in. For instance, okay, so it's a shooter platformer basically. Mario's. This is what I've wanted. I've always thought that they should bring Flood into a side-scrolling Mario. I thought that'd be a cool upgrade, power up or something.
Get like the hover end, like the shooting mechanic, and all into one kind of thing.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. So this kind of has that, except not a hover, but you have this gun that shoots water, and then around you there's paint. There's red paint, and red paint you can stick to. So like on walls, ceilings, and on the ground, it actually makes you go slower. But like,
because I guess it's sticky.
Yeah, it's sticky. So, but if you run up and then you see, there's red paint on that wall, you can jump on that wall and run on it, and you stick to it, and it's like its own little thing, and it's cool. Like when it's on a wall, like you jump to it and you kind of like climb up the wall. It looks cool, kind of like a monkey, and then so there's red ink that you unlock, and then you can shoot that ink anywhere and stick to anything you want. Very, very fun. And then the really fun ink is the yellow ink, and this is bouncy ink, and so when you spray it on something and you run, you just bounce like super high. That's it's awesome. So much fun. It is. So it's like, and then the best part of the whole game, the best part hands down, the level design. It's all designed to make it so, and it's so fluid, if you will. Like you're just bouncing and jumping and crawling and running through the game. Perfect for speedruns, but it's like on your first try. It's like you get it. You get the feeling. It's such a nice feeling when there's good level design. You're not stopping. Yeah. Okay, it's like the opposite of Sonic. Okay, let me just say that.
It sounds like a game I'll like Sonic already.
But so basically, like it'll design like for instance, you'll be running and then you need to spray yellow ink in front of you, and then that'll make you bounce over the spike, and then as you're bouncing over it, you spray the the red ink on the wall, stick to it, run up the wall. You're dodging stuff. You're spraying yellow to make it to bounce over certain
hazards,
big spikes, and stuff like that. And everything is perfectly designed to where you can make it, and you can, but it's still a challenge. But like you just go for it and you can do it. So, I really like the game. And the thing is it came out like a day before Mario, so
not the best of timing necessarily.
No, not. But still. When you guys are done with Mario, it's this really unique experience that I think everyone who likes Mario or Rayman or I'm trying to think of what it most reminds me of. Okay, it's kind of like Mario and Meat Boy. It's kind of a Meat Boy style. Slime Sun is kind of in that same vein.
So pretty difficult then.
Yeah, difficult, and you die a lot, but it puts you right back in. It's not as difficult, not even close to as difficult as Slime Sun or Meat Boy. But
that would just be mean with the cute, cuddly presentation to be that brutal of a game.
Yeah. I think this is important to note that the guys that did this, I think it's the first game from Splash Team, from that particular studio name, but these are, I think, at least one of them or maybe two of them are ex Ubisoft guys.
Oh,
that
really?
Worked on Rayman Origins and Rayman Legends.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. It is really cool.
Branching out.
It's cool, and they're their own indie thing now. And I really did. I fell in love with the game very quickly. It's very, and it's not like this super. It's not like overwhelming. There's not like tons of levels, and there's a cool speedrun mode, and it's just a nice game.
Oh, how much? Do you know how much it is offhand?
I think it's $14.99.
Okay, that seems to be the sweet spot for these indie games.
It's definitely worth it. I really love it. I love the game. So if you want to hear more about it, check out my review, and check it out in the eShop. Giddy up. That's Splasher.
Giddy on up. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to check that one out. It sounds like it could be up my alley.
Oh, totally. It's really fun. Really fun. You know what I was thinking about?
What were you thinking about?
Just a quick aside, and this has I'm not segueing into the.
Oh man, I thought we were getting.
I could tell that you were trying to help with the segue there. No, I was thinking, with all these retro throwbacks that people are coming out with, odes to Mega Man, odes to whatever.
Of course.
I feel like there's
classics.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Oh, like ukulele, ode to Banjo-Kazooie, whatever. I am so surprised that there is not a game, and I'm sure there's a billion, but I just don't know about it, a popular game that is made to look like Donkey Kong Country. Like the first three.
Well,
that look and play like it.
Don't mention that, and we'll get to work. We could be those guys. Mean?
Wouldn't that be a great idea? Like to come up with a game that looks like that?
To be honest with you, that'd be so cool. I am waiting for the day that Nintendo gives I don't know, whatever internal team the reins to go out and make like a SNES style Mario game, Donkey Kong, any of these games, like with the sprite work and everything. And sure, it doesn't have to be a big, robust, crazy game, but it could be a smaller scale, maybe $20, maybe $30, but in that Super Nintendo style.
Yes.
It's like, they could still make an awesome game like that,
Totally.
And people would totally eat it up.
Yes, yeah. So I don't know. We'll see.
Well, they should get a move on with that. I want to play Donkey Kong Country 4.
Yeah, well, there is Donkey Kong Country 4.
Well, I want it to be properly called 4.
No, we can't do that now.
You're talking to Nintendo.
Retro's making.
They name their games however they don't care.
Oh yeah, Mario Kart 7.
It'll just be like Donkey Kong Country 2. returns.
No, you know what? Retro's making Donkey Kong Country 6. You know that's what it's gonna be. It's just gonna be 6. They're not gonna have a name.
Yeah, just
It's not gonna be just Donkey Kong Country 6.
and the 6 isn't like just a weird elongated banana
Yeah.
with a weird hook in it. You're like, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so I talked about Neon Chrome, and I guess just real quick before I switch it over to you, I want to say Neon Chrome is amazing. I love the game. I totally fell in love with it over the past 2 weeks. I beat it. I went through and I beat it. Haven't even beat Goner yet, but I've beat Neon Chrome. Has a great upgrade system. It's like every time you're playing, it's like imagine if you played Goner, you were getting money, like, from killing enemies, and then every time you started a new playthrough of Goner, you could upgrade your jump, or you could upgrade your defense.
Yeah, it sounds nice.
And you're always getting it's super nice, and that's what. So you're always getting stronger and better, and then upon that you're learning how to deal with enemies a lot better, just in general. So it's an amazing progression, and then once you beat it, you unlock like the 2.0, and then you can go through it on a way harder difficulty, and you unlock even more stuff. So it's so good. I highly recommend it. It's from 10 tons, I think is what 10
Yeah,
tons?
10 tons.
They've been releasing a bunch. They released kind of like a trilogy of games. It released Neon Chrome. Last week they released Time Recoil.
Yep.
And the week before that, they released a game called
Jydge.
Waves reaching all-time high. Do you think now is the time to launch the Jydge initiative?
Yes. Send in the Jydge.
Is that what it's called?
Yep. With a Y.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Jydge, yeah. I think.
Why?
I think that's how I've been pronouncing it. And like the.
But it's Jydge.
Yeah, the way.
Jydge.
No, it's definitely supposed to be Jydge because like pretty much the plot is like, oh, you're a judge, which is like some.
Can we call it Jydge?
Yeah, you're Jydge, and your goal is to give
Jydge Dread
judgment upon others. Yeah, so you're sort of like this weapon that just goes in and takes care of bad guys, and similar to Neon Chrome and stuff, you upgrade your weapon and do you upgrade like your suit in that, or just the weapon in Neon Chrome?
You upgrade your weapon slots, your attack, your health.
Okay, because like in this one you have your gun, the gavel, if you will, and which is amazing because it looks like a gavel too. Like the design of it.
It's Jydge.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Jydge.
Yeah, Jydge.
Yeah.
And with that, yeah, you can upgrade and change your fire mode or whatever, which is essentially what kind of gun it is. Like it always looks the same, but it could be a shotgun, machine gun, laser gun, whatever. Right. And then, like you said, then it has I think 3 slots for modifications. That sort of you can change up with your play style. Then you also have your suit, which has like 3, I think, different slots you can adjust in there too. So there's a lot of customization you can do. But unlike Neon Chrome, this is mission based. So it's just very, you go in, you go out, do a mission. Each mission has like a couple sub goals. So it'd be like, okay, save the hostages or kill this target. But you can also save the hostages, and like that will get you a medal. Then it'll be do it under 40 seconds. That'll be the other medal. So you can get a total of 3 medals per level. And it's sort of cool. It's you go in there. The missions are nothing too crazy, but you go in there. They're pretty quick in and out. You could pick up money and stuff, which you can use for your upgrades. But the thing that really
But
what's up?
It's not a roguelike.
No, it's mission based.
Yeah. So I just so I can make sure everyone understands. This is made by the same people as Neon Chrome, and it's like the same engine and the same style of gameplay. Like
it's like the same. Yeah,
shooter.
it's like they've taken literally the entire framework of Neon Chrome, and then like instead of roguelike elements, they like just restructured everything they had to be based around missions.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
Now
'cause that just doesn't sound as good.
Yeah, and it's really there's one real bad decision they made, and I'm gonna touch on that in half a second. So essentially, there's like acts, and in each act there's missions. I think there's 4 total acts with 5 missions per act, and you get medals, as I said, for doing the missions and the submissions. Now, as you progress through the game, you need to collect medals to keep moving forward. But the problem is the requirement is so demanding. So, for instance, I forget the exact numbers offhand now because it's been a week and change. But it was like to get into Act 3, you had to have, I think there were 60 total medals. You had to have 55 of them. Now,
what in the heck?
Yeah, it's insane. And what the thing is, so you go through each mission, and then when you beat the mission, you unlock hardcore mode, which it's usually the same exact main mission. If it was like kill this target, that's the same, for the next, the hardcore mission, but they'll change up the submissions. And it's way harder. Like the enemies, are stronger, whatever. So now think about this. You need to have 55 of 60 total medals, and there are only 10 levels up to that point, 5 per act. So they're saying you need to go into each hardcore match or a hardcore mission and get almost all of the medals in there. There's only 5 medals you don't need to get to push on. Like, how crazy is that?
It makes no sense. I mean, it's like if you're playing New Super Mario Bros. And you get to the end of a world and it says you need to get 55 out of 60 medals, and
now you need to go back and do all of the levels on hard mode.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Like, why would they do that?
Yeah, so for me, that was really what, it was just so I don't know what they were thinking, because the missions are fun. Like I said, they're nothing crazy, but they're fun to go in there and beat them. And, with all the different loadout options and gun options you have, that's really cool. And I love that. And some of the submissions require definitely certain things, like, oh, okay, I need to do it fast, so I'm going to use the perk that makes my guy move faster, So, it's fun to play around with it and, mix and match different perks to be able to do these things. But I don't like that it's absolutely forced upon you to even continue on, And these things cost money, so therefore, if you're you're gonna have to grind to get money, so you're gonna have to go back and repeat a mission that you can beat and just collect money and kill things and collect money and get out of there, So it's just a lot of repetition, and just I don't know what they were thinking. I actually wrote the review for this game, and I posted on Twitter, hey, check it out, and the 10 Tons actually messaged me, and they were like, thanks for the review, and just a heads up, in the future, we're going to revisit and either make the requirement less, or they might be getting rid of the requirement at all. And honestly, I can't begin to say how much better that will make that game, just with that simple tweak,
Oh, and I think when that happens is when I'll pick that game up.
Yeah, no, I don't know what they were thinking. I can understand, you need to beat every mission, get a couple side missions, and then maybe if you really wanted to be crazy, you need to get 1 medal from the hardcore. But, they're expecting you to get all of these medals, and, some of them are just straight up brutal, So.
Right.
Well, yeah, unfortunate.
So, yeah, I have Time Recoil, and I haven't had time to play it yet. I haven't had time to play it. But next week I will definitely be talking about that. But for now, honestly, I'd say get Neon Chrome to everyone listening. It's such a good game. It completely took me by surprise. So, yeah.
And I would say,
just want to put that out
if
there.
you want Jydge, wait until the patch comes.
Right. But I would say first get Neon Chrome. You know what I mean? That's a guaranteed fantastic game. But Well, awesome. We got through a bunch of games there. Let's take a quick break here.
Oh boy, we're gonna need it.
Yeah, when we come back, we have. I could probably call a hearty eShop.
Woo, I'd say Hardy +5.
All right. So Hardy is officially 23 games.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
All right. See you on the other side.
Alrighty, we are back, and I believe Perry's about to take us on a ride. Maybe the most jam-packed eShop Roundup
Yeehaw!
that's only going to feature one console ever.
That's right. There may have been games that came out on 3DS and Wii U, but since there's so many on Switch and we're catching up, we're only doing Switch this week. And we're gonna start with Rogue Trooper Redux, or is that Redo?
I think Redux.
Okay, I don't know what Redux means. But anyway, this is
we don't have time to talk
$24.99.
about.
Sorry, yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm joking. We got games, dang it.
We don't have time to say them correctly.
Yeah, we don't have time to actually talk about the games, dang it.
Well, it's a timeless blend of stealth action gameplay, cover-based combat, and epic set pieces.
Ooh.
So this is it's a remake, of an older game. Now it looks awesome. Like the graphics look great. At least the screenshots that I saw. So yeah.
Alrighty.
All right.
Next up, we have Don't Knock Twice for $9.99. This is a first-person horror game. Uncover the frightening truth behind the urban tale of vengeful demonic witch. I'm looking at the graphics. Looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it does look cool.
Yeah, it looks like it's like eerie. Like they show looks like
Yeah.
a living room, like furniture, and it looks like they nailed the horror atmosphere. So that's interesting. Around Halloween could be a good game to check out.
Sure, if you like horror games. Speaking of horror games, the next game we have up, Putty Pals.
The cutest looking game
$9.99.
ever.
I know. It's a cooperative platformer. A big part of it is
Co-op.
It's playing co-op. Yeah, like you use each other to to traverse the land and stuff. So
yeah, this was a game I was thinking about taking for review until I saw how much it relied on multiplayer, and I'm like,
I know.
It's like I don't have
Maybe
someone
if we
to
lived
play
in
the
the
whole
same
time.
city.
Yeah, we could have wrote the review together. Casey and Perry writes.
That sounds awesome. Okay.
Next up, we've got a little game.
We should have those.
Casey and Perry writes.
Yep.
Just
now, it wouldn't be a week.
I'm just thinking about us writing about the snow falling from the sky together. Like, oh, it's beautiful. A little game we talked about quite a bit the last few weeks.
You're beautiful.
That is Party Golf for $14.99. I don't think we really need to say much more about it.
As our Australians say, Paddy Golf.
Oh, you want to play some party golf? No, that's terrible.
Party Golf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was more of a terrible English accent by me. But anyway.
Well, that's kind of what the Australian accent is. But just kidding. No, I love Australian. Australian accents are a lot. It's kind of like an English accent, but kind of smoothed out. I like it. I like English accents.
Silky smooth.
Yeah.
I like
nice.
all accents.
Except you all know that they're all criminals. That's where they came from.
Put them down under.
Australians. Yeah, after we got done recording last week, I promised Ian that I would make a bunch of Australian jokes, but then I forgot while we were recording.
Oh, so you're
probably out of respect for him, But
meanwhile, Lemonade's like, I hate you guys. Anyway, we're getting distracted. We've got a plethora of games, and I heard you say it before, and then I cut you off because you jumped the gun.
Sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Hurry,
it wouldn't be a week if we didn't have a Neo Geo game. And
is
I know
it a
we
beat 'em
like
up?
shooters. It sure is. It's Neo Geo Robo Army for $7.99.
Oh, I'm looking at the graphics. It's amazing. I just see humans in a cage, like, help me, and these robo monsters beating the crap out of each other.
It's just, yep, it's exactly what you'd expect. Gorgeous looking game, just like always. Let's move on.
Just like Super Ping Pong Trick Shot. $4.99. Not quite as beautiful, but
how is it?
There's more ball thrown in this
always?
game than in Robo Army, so.
How do you know? You haven't even played Robo Army. Wait, have you?
Don't assume what games I've played, sir.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's it. I'm going fishing.
All right. Well, good. While you go fishing, I'm going to talk about the Count Lucanor. I think that's how you pronounce it. Lucanor?
That's why I let
Luchador?
you take the tough ones.
The Count Luchador. No, it's Lucanor, I think. It's $14.99. David Lloyd did the review, and he went on to say about how it was so gruesome and scary, actually, for being like a 16-bit looking game. And I've seen the trailer, and it's like super gruesome, like heads chopped off, laying in piles of blood.
Ironically enough, it's only rated T for teen.
I know, and David mentioned in his review, or maybe this is just in a conversation, that like he wouldn't let his kids play it.
Interesting.
You know, so it is interesting. So, but it's an adventure RPG game, and I noticed that the guy walks really slow, but it looks pretty cool. So it might be good for, well, Halloween's past, but
you know who doesn't walk slow? Jydge. Jydge, yes, Jydge. From the boys 10 tons, as we've been talking. $14.99. Check out Neo Chrome, also by those guys as well.
That's right. And then we also have a previously talked about game, Spelunker Party.
Exclamation point.
Oh, sorry. Spelunker Party.
For $29.99.
Pikmin. Yeah, for $29.99. There you go.
Next up, we've got Elliot Quest for $9.99. If you somehow, like me, missed out on Elliot Quest on every other platform out there, you can now play it on your Switch.
Well, Casey, I think this is the best time. I'm sorry, but surprise, I demand you segment. This is the game I was talking about.
Ooh, you dog.
That's right. I know, and I realize it might be good. I hope this isn't a train wreck right here, but yes, we are gonna be doing another I demand you segment.
I was say we'll hint it with that. We'll save what game I've got for you until later. Let's keep moving along.
Okay.
Because we've got many a more game to go.
You got it.
And next up,
you still got to think of the game, don't you? I figured you out. You don't even have it picked out.
You shut your mouth. I need my time.
No, go ahead.
All right. Next up, we've got Revenant Saga for $12.99. This is a gothic fantasy RPG with stunning 3D battles.
Well, there can't be a lot of those.
You would most certainly say they're not a dime a dozen.
No. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding. We have a review up on the site, so check that out. Next up, we have the Jackbox Party Pack 4,
Woo!
which I don't own, actually. I have all the other ones.
Well, what are you waiting for, you Jim?
Yeah, well, we definitely need to do that. I need to pick it up. It's $24.99, so, but those games are fantastic for partying, so giddy up.
Next up, we've got Fire Emblem Warriors for $59.99, and there is also a season pass. You can get a bundle for $79.98 if you're interested in that. I believe there will probably be quite a bit of DLC if they're going along the lines of Hyrule Warriors. So if it is a game for you and that you know you're going to keep playing, it's probably worth picking up the season pass, I'd imagine, opposed to buying it separately. But it is a lot of Warriors gameplay, so the base game is probably more than enough.
I just have to say, I've just been thinking about it, and I think we've had a little conversation with Mr. Panda. They picked the most boring Nintendo franchise they could have, I think, for this. Like, if it was any other franchise, I would have been all over it. Like any other Nintendo franchise, but this is just like Fire. This is just like a Warriors game. Like, what's the difference? You know what I mean? Like,
well, I mean,
no,
I think
it does have.
I think it's easy
Fire
for
Emblem
the characters
stuff.
to sort of blend in if you're not super deep into Fire Emblem.
That's what I mean. But I mean, it's like this is what they do anyway.
No,
they run around,
I
they fight.
agree.
You know, it's like, So I don't know.
No, for sure. But I know
Yeah.
they definitely did add a bunch of Fire Emblem elements, and like I'm pretty sure you could be a Pegasus Knight and stuff. So there's definitely things that you're gonna find in this game that you won't in a traditional Warriors game.
For sure.
But I know what you mean. It's a lot of, like I said, unless if you're really in the trenches of Fire Emblem, a lot of the characters are gonna be like, oh, generic archer, generic sword wielder. You know, like, I know. I see where you're coming from.
Star Fox should have been Star Fox.
That would have been interesting.
Captain Falcon should have been F-Zero. How
Just
sweet. And then you can get into a Blue Falcon and just...
I'm just
You know
thinking
what I
of all
mean? Like
those
anything.
flying knees to the fodder. Show me your moves!
Imagine Falcon Punch!
Yeah, that'd
Like,
be pretty good.
I know, it would be. Anyway. Anywho.
We're getting sidetracked.
Yep, that's okay. It's part of the eShop Roundup. Next up, we have Siberia. $29.99. This is an old adventure game that I think I heard the guys on Nintendo Voice Chat talking about it, and they said that it like an old PS1 or PS2 game that's like remastered, and it looks weird.
Yeah.
I'm not a big adventure game guy.
Yeah, neither am I.
But I am a 3D platformer guy. I do like those.
Yes, and up next we have Poi, the Explorer Edition. Right? That's Poi, is how you say it? P-O-I.
Yep.
For $29.99. As Perry alluded to, this is a 3D platformer. You could get it digitally, and there is a physical release as well. Now, the only disappointing thing about this game is the time of its arrival. This came out, was it the same day as Mario, or was it just the week before? It might have come out on that Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
It came
like
out
a
on
few
the
days before
24th.
Mario.
So it came out 3 days before Mario, which...
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you want to beat it to market, but they needed at least another week if they probably wanted to see it do well. But it looks really cute.
I'll probably be picking this up at some point, physically.
Yeah,
it
looks really good. And like you said, 3D platformer, I would have been all in if it wasn't around Mario, where
if
obviously
I
we're a little occupied.
preparing for... Yeah. Anyway. But yeah, that's Poi. Remember, it's... available physically as well. I don't know how much, but yeah. Anyway, next up, Knights of Azure 2, Bride of the New Moon. Isn't that one of the Twilight books? This is for $59.99, so I'm assuming this is retail as well. I don't know though. I haven't seen it, but it could just be digital, but $60. And well, what do you know? It's a gothic fairy tale action RPG.
Ooh.
I did see that there is free DLC for a month, for like the first month it's out. So if that's a good idea to grab that.
Yeah, if you're interested. No, I always like that. I like that.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect way to do DLC. Because, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
early adapters get in
it
for free, and then if you're late to the party, yeah.
Yep, I think that works for me. Okay, next up.
Next up, This Is the Police for $29.99. This is a little, sort of an interesting strategy adventure game. Now, I haven't personally seen too much, but from what I gather, it sort of is a polarizing game, right? It's gotten some acclaim and then some hate as well.
I mean, not so much hate, but it's just, it's such a unique game, and I know that, like, it's just kind of all over the place, but one of the things that I've read that is it's a very linear experience. So I think the replayability isn't there, but I've heard it's good. It's just, like, it's not perfect. You know what I mean? So
Gotcha.
And at $30, it's,
that's a steep price to pay if you're not sure about it.
I think that there's a lot of, like, politics as well in it. So beware people who like that.
Doesn't sound like my kind of game then.
But speaking of your kind of game,
that's right, baby. Just Dance 2018. $59.99. Just Dance.
You know,
I'm pretty sure it came out on the Wii as well.
oh yeah, do you not have that in your news? It sold more on the Wii than it did on the Wii U or the Switch. This came out on Wii U.
God bless
and
him,
Wii.
you know?
Isn't that incredible?
And here we were
So I think-
saying there were no other games aside from Switch, baby. We have the Wii's debut on the eShop.
You're right. You know, I was thinking, this might be the last Wii game ever.
Nah, not till 2019 Just Dance comes out.
You think?
It really wouldn't surprise me, man.
It wouldn't surprise me either. Yeah, you're right.
Moving along,
Maybe
though,
the last Wii U game, though.
until
well,
the 2019 Just Dance comes out.
That's great. Well, but just before you move on, David Lloyd did the review for Just Dance 2018. So you can check that out. It's
Does
pretty
that
funny.
guy do anything other than review video games? What a man.
Nope.
He's a beast.
We're all beasting it up. There's so many.
I tell you what's the most impressive thing about David and all his reviews is that he still does a ton of other things too.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Yeah, I don't know how either. I don't know.
He's a man among boys.
And he plays hockey, ice hockey. I don't know how he does it.
He
I
must
don't
be
know.
on uppers.
Maybe we got this prestige.
I'm just kidding.
maybe he has a twin, and they are cheating the system and doing half the work. You know?
Yeah, he's actually the laziest man alive, but he comes off
No.
or like the not most normal. I gotta put it
No,
in
it's
there.
like the Seinfeld episode when Jerry and George work together to be like with both of them working together, they can be a good man. They can do the work of one good man. But
I need another Casey.
yeah. Oh, boo. Speaking of another Casey, Night Terrors.
I'm actually playing this game for review.
Yeah. This is $2.99. Now, night as in like shovel knight, like as in a knight of honor. What do you call those knights? A medieval knight.
Yes.
A K knight.
This
There
is
you go.
an endless runner / Flappy Bird game.
Okay.
And it sounds weird,
It-
but it's actually
It looks cool.
it's actually sort of fun. But I'll talk more about that next week. But
Okay, cool.
how about we get on to this next game here, the Mummy Demastered for $19.99. This is from Way Forward, right? I believe they take the licensed
Yeah.
games and they bring them
Yeah.
into like a Super Nintendo styled graphics, and it's a Metroidvania game. So
Yeah, and it's kind of it's like both Metroidvania plus I think there's a lot of it's a Metroidvania. Now, the only thing that I've heard that I don't like about this game is it has that thing where when you die, you have to go find your previous zombie self and shoot him to get your stuff, and that can be really hard.
yeah, that's yeah.
And it doesn't seem like it'd be that fun for that kind of a game.
Yeah, I'm
I don't
thinking of Zombie U, and I'm like, I liked
See,
it in
exactly.
that game, but
That makes sense.
in a game like this, yeah, I don't know if I really want to do that.
And so, anyway, but it looks so good. It looks so good. It really does. And on a sale, I'll definitely pick it up. But for $19.99, that's a pretty hard sell.
Yep.
I think it's so funny that it's based off the movie. They should have made it something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They
just
should've
taking their own thing.
They should have just done the Mummy something else, or I don't know, like a different thing. But next up, we have Time Recoil, the game I was talking about. This is from 10 Tons, so it's $14.99. It's the same vein as Neon Chrome and Jydge. I really like saying Jydge. What's that from? Jydge.
I don't know.
Jydge.
But what I
Is that
do
from
know
Fresh
is
Prince?
next up
Jydge.
we've got Splasher for $14.99. Perry already talked about that one. A cool little
Yep.
platforming game.
Yep.
And we were speaking about zombies before.
And gold. And we're rushing this segment through.
And gold.
I assumed we were talking about gold. But yes, Zombie Gold Rush.
Oh, that's funny.
Hey, I'm always talking about gold. $4.99 Zombie Gold Rush. I can just assume what that is.
And it wouldn't be a week without another Neo Geo game, and this time we've got Mutation Nation for $7.99. And if you couldn't guess, well, let me give you a hint. It's not a shooter, so therefore it's a beat-em-up game.
Yep, yeah. You know, every time I saw this, I thought Mutation Nation would be such a sweet nickname for Justin.
Mutation
for Justin Nation.
That's...
What's up? He should have done that for Halloween. Dang it.
What's up, Justin? What's up, Mutation Nation?
Mutation Nation, see? That could be his podcast.
Boom.
Boom. Yep. Okay, well, hey, there you go, Justin. You can take that idea. You can call it your own. Next up, we have Violet. $8.99. This is a really cool looking, gorgeous adventure puzzle game that I've heard is it's really good. Like, it's good, but it's not amazing, and you know what I mean. So
yeah.
I think that the presentation is there, but it's not like an incredibly engaging game. So, but looks cool.
Then we've got Moon Hunters for $14.99. This is the Cooperative Personality Test RPG. Includes DLC and 3 new characters in the Switch
Whatever that
version.
means.
Yeah, I don't really know what that means.
That's what it says. Like that's the slogan, you know.
Yeah, it's sort of strange. It definitely
this version
looks interesting.
Yeah, I cut you off there, but yeah, this version includes the DLC from the original and 3 new characters. So that's cool.
3 new characters to cooperate with.
Yeah. Next up is a game that Super Mario Odyssey. It's not really worth talking about.
Yeah, whatever. It's a game.
Yeah.
Then we've got the real heavy hitter of the week, King Oddball for $4.99. End the World with Boulders. That's
End the World with Boulders.
Now this game looks bonkers.
Yeah.
I like the colors.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Angry Birds.
That's what I was just gonna say.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Yeah. But you're this like king oddball with a tongue.
That's a boulder.
You're throwing boulders and demolishing things. So
yeah, it looks very similar.
it looks funny. It looks fun.
Single
like
button
a mobile game,
press
you know?
gameplay. So yeah, you can sort of
okay.
gander what it is.
Okay, cool. Well, it's $4.99, so not a big deal. But can you believe we made it through 28 games?
Woo-wee!
Good land of living.
We better hit the saloon.
Yeah, let's get to the YouTube Saloon. You get some tequila.
And to wash that tequila down with, we've got a mini play. And this week, I have been playing Yoshi's Island. Went back,
Heck yeah.
still doing my little conquest of the Super NES Classic. You know, playing those games a little bit here and there. And yeah, Yoshi's Island is a great one.
Yoshi's Island is so good.
It's all right.
Check that out. It's okay. Now, our challenge this week is Splatoon 2 related. We got a few to end our. I think we've done all the modes now. Maybe.
Yeah, I think
we have.
Did we? I think Tower Control, which is this week's featured mode. I believe. I don't think we've released any videos yet with Tower Control. I think this is the first one.
No, that's what I mean. I think we've done Splat Zones and Rainmaker, and this is our Tower Control.
All we have left is that mean turf war.
We should do a turf war
just
for fun.
For the LOLs.
Yeah.
Well,
it like one-on-one turf war that sounds hilarious.
Yeah, the most uninteresting video of all time.
It might be kind of fun. I don't know. We should definitely try it. But that'll be it for the YouTube Saloon. And we're just gonna piggyback right into the
News Talk with Casey Gibson.
Yes, and it is a hearty week of news, if I don't say so myself.
And it is because tons of news broke last week, but we were just, those interviews came in, and Mario and.
There was just a lot going on in the world of Nintendo.
There was a ton we missed out. But let's talk about sales figures, yo.
Woo-wee! Boy, do I have them here for you. Now, just the other day, we've got hit with all these numbers, and let's talk about them. So the Switch up to September 30th, so that does not include the month of October, and obviously does not include any bumps from Mario. The Switch has sold 7.63 million units.
Wow.
They've forecasted it to sell 16.7 by the end of the fiscal year,
March. So
which is 4 million, over the most previous forecast at that point.
Oh my goodness, isn't that amazing?
So that's great news. Yeah.
You know what's weird though?
Your face.
That's weird. Well, that wasn't very nice, Jimmy. No, what's weird is the next thing here, that Zelda has only sold 4.7 million.
Yes, the attach rate has severely decreased from the at one point 100% plus.
Like 40% of the people don't own Zelda? That's so weird.
Yeah, it's a little strange, but you know what? I guess maybe younger kids who, aren't trying to jump into like this huge open world game,
I guess. That's weird.
It's probably all the people
anyway,
who want to play Stardew Valley on the go.
But honestly, 4.7, I mean, that's like 60%. Like,
I mean, it's
rate,
still, that's still
which
high.
Is insane.
And
then what's crazy is, the next one.
The next one is Mario Kart 8.
The next 5.
Excuse me?
The next 5, all these crazy attach rates.
Yeah, so I'm going to run through them all here, and then we can sort of talk about them afterwards.
Yeah.
You've got Zelda, as we said, 4.7 million. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, 4.42 million. Splatoon,
so almost as much as Zelda.
Yeah, crazy. Splatoon 2, 3.61 million. 1-2 Switch at 1.37 million. And ARMS just lagging behind at 1.35 million.
That is amazing.
So that's
I'm so happy with all those.
Is that every single one of Nintendo's major releases of the year, right? Or just about all over 1 million.
No, that's definitely that's it.
I think 1-2 Switch is surprising, but I think that was just because retail game at launch,
Yeah.
But yeah, Mario Kart 8 super high up there.
Heck yeah,
I mean,
man.
it makes sense.
It's such a good game. I know, it does make sense.
And like you said, think of a parent picking up a system. I'm buying the Switch for my child. I'm probably not, if I'm not big into games, I'm gonna get them Mario Kart over Zelda.
Right.
Because it's first off, it's got Mario, and it's a racing game. It's got more appeal, I think, more general appeal.
It's a party game and a racing game. Yep.
Yeah. But Splatoon selling like gangbusters.
Dude, almost 4 mil. That's just they're at like a 50% attach rate too.
Now there's one game that has eclipsed the 1 million sold mark as well, and it's done it in considerably less time.
And what's that?
That is Mario Odyssey has sold 2 million copies in 3 days.
That's how do they do that? How do they ship that?
That is a lot of Mario.
How do they do that? That's crazy.
Yeah, man. I mean,
that's amazing.
2 million. That's, like I said, that's right there. That's over 25% of the user base. Of course, I'm sure a lot of Switches were sold, over this past week or two. So it'll be more than what the number of 7.63 that we have at the moment. But that's insane. I mean, well, I feel like the benchmark for games now is you hit over 1 million. That's generally, it's a success.
Especially with this at the beginning, like in the first year,
Oh yeah, because I mean, think of
all of these are evergreen titles.
Yeah, as as more Switches are sold, Zelda, Mario, all of these games. Maybe not 1-2 Switch. Maybe ARMS a little less, but yeah, I still think they're going to sell down the road.
No, I think ARMS is totally Yeah. Anyway, but definitely Zelda, Mario Kart, Mario, boom.
Just crazy,
dude,
man.
So, I don't want to get off on a tangent here, but I'm thinking, well, maybe I'll save that for when we talk about Mario.
So I've just got some more numbers here. I guess since the last time they released numbers, the Switch has moved an additional 2.9 million, taking the total up to 7.63. Switch software saw a 13.98 million unit increase, bringing the grand total to 27.48 million units sold in, I was going to say the first year, but at this point, the first 7 months or 6 months. As far as the 3DS goes, they moved an additional 1.91 million hardware units and an additional 7.97 million software units. But this brings the 3DS hardware sales to just shy of 70 million units total. That's a lot of 3DSs, man.
Well, I own I was
going to say
10, so...
Yeah, they're like, there's only 50 million unique people, unique users. The rest are suckers who got buying 3, 4, 5 3DSs.
Yeah.
A couple of Jimmys right here.
Yeah. I got my backup units for sure, and now I'm like, what's a 3DS?
Yeah, I hate it. We're the Talk Nintendo store now has 10 3DS units for sale.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's really cool. And then along to go with that, there's another console that has sold over 2 million worldwide this year as well.
What's that? The Xbox One?
Huh?
The Xbox One?
Probably
not. No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe. No. The SNES Classic.
Woo-wee!
That has sold 2 million worldwide as well, which is nuts. But also, I didn't know they made that many. But it's obviously way more than the NES Classic, which is going to get another reprint. So.
Well, I was going to say the good thing is,
man, they got.
I feel like I have not really seen too many people complaining about not being able to find one. I still see.
Yeah.
A shipment's coming in on this weekend, so I still think they're somewhat hard to find, but I don't think necessarily even anywhere close to how tough the NES Classic was.
Yeah.
So that's a great thing.
So the Switch is doing good. We all knew this, but it's so cool to look at these numbers. I'm very happy with the numbers. It's cool,
Amen.
It's such an upswing. So now, something else that's going to come out that's going to be really cool on Switch, and that's Rocket League. And it finally has a release date.
Woo!
Finally. They released it with Casey's ex-girlfriend, Krista. She announced it on Nintendo Minute. November 14th, 1999.
Ooh-wee. And
boom. So $20. Heck yeah, that's a
great price point.
Yeah. Now, they haven't talked about physical, right?
I would not expect it unless if it gets some sort of special run later, but I'm pretty sure I don't think it has a physical release for any console. I could be wrong on that. So don't quote me on that. But I don't think.
What are you talking about?
What?
It's on PS4 and Xbox One. It has physical releases on those.
Are you sure?
Yeah, and they're even doing another reprint with an updated version.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah, no, for some reason I thought it was, here you go. Yeah, collector's edition. Yeah, $30. Okay. I was wrong.
So, Jimmy's wrong.
Yeah, Jimmy's wrong.
So, what's really cool with these, and what is really fun to remember about this, is it's cross-play with Xbox and PC.
Oh, yeah.
How freaking sweet is that?
I mean, I don't think the Switch would have any problem having a robust player base, but it's always good to have more.
Yeah, apparently they have more people playing now than ever, So you will never not be able to play.
Oh yeah, it's going to be awesome. Cool. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. So that's fun. Now, one of the biggest announcements, which I guess we discussed last week with the Slime Song guys, and that is...
Yeah, I was going to say, I forgot if we touched on it or not, but I figured it was big enough news to bring it back anyway.
Let's touch on it.
But yeah, Limited Run Games is coming to the Switch in 2018. So, I mean...
Thank you, Nintendo.
I've never personally bought, one of these games, but I've always seen them and always been jealous. They look so good.
Those Mutant Muds and the Zeo Drifter. Oh, I want it so bad.
Yeah,
But I want to play them.
I'm so happy. It's coming. I'm so happy they were able to work out with Nintendo, and I'm excited to see what games they're going to bring. I imagine they'll be in the same vein, you know what I mean? But, like, I think I've seen swirlings of maybe Golf Story.
Yeah, that's what they were teasing, and I think that would be so cool, and I would be so happy, because I haven't got that, you know?
Guess what Jimmy'd be double dipping?
Yeah, Casey. You would be double
Yes, sir.
But, very cool. And then another really cool bit of news is that with this latest, and this is really old news to people, but people are going to hear it. The latest update on Switch, the 4.0, that sneaked in GameCube controller support with the help of the Wii U adapter. So you can play any game that supports a Pro Controller with it. With the only thing, and this is what really stinks, is that because there's no controller mapping, which I totally wish there was system-wide controller mapping.
Yeah.
But any game that uses a ZL, which is like most games, like you can't use it because there is no ZL. Now I've heard that ARMS is good for this because you can map buttons in ARMS.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I was
thinking.
thinking.
Fun. It'd be fun, but also it's like there's no way that like that's better than a Pro Controller. You know what I mean?
Oh no way.
You know,
but you know what
anyway,
might be better
so
than a Pro
cool.
Controller? The GameCube bongos. I actually
Oh yes.
I actually saw a video someone was using the bongos. I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah, see, I really want to try that now, and I'm trying to think of a game that would work.
Anything, just slap on some bongo thumper.
I know, but Thumper. Oh heck yeah, that might actually work awesome.
Yeah, man.
Anyway,
Moving along, we've got.
Moving along.
Now this is a tweet that Nintendo of Europe sent out, but I just thought it was pretty cool. 200 games are now available on the Switch. 200. Woohoo!
200. Yeah, I know. 28 of them just came out like in the last 2 weeks, so that makes complete sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's like.
And think about that, Casey. An eighth of them just came out in the last 2 weeks. Over an eighth.
That's crazy.
So.
And now, just as a quick little point of reference, you know how many games got released for the N64 in North America total?
Isn't it like, what is it?
296. So we're
oh my goodness.
2/3 of the way there in less than a year.
Amazing. Giddy up.
Ooh-wee.
Now, Wolfenstein, which is Bethesda, right?
Yeah, it was from the Wolfenstein Twitter account, but yeah, it is owned by Bethesda.
Yeah, they tweeted out, "Congrats on the launch of Super Mario Odyssey, Nintendo. We can't wait to bring Wolfenstein 2 to the Switch in 2018." And they included a really cool
original art.
Yeah, art. Well, it made to look like a Super Nintendo game, right?
I don't think it was that. It just, I think it was a character from Wolfenstein 2, like a little like animal dog thing with like a Mario hat.
Okay, well, who was it that just released something that made it look like a Super Nintendo?
Oh, that was, I think, that was Skyrim, and it was like the box art.
Skyrim. Yes, that's what
yeah.
it was.
It looked
Maybe
like the SNES Skyrim box art.
Yeah, that was great.
But what's cool is about this is, Wolfenstein 2 released on the same day that Mario Odyssey did, So I thought it was sort of a cool notion, like, hey, we're coming out in the same day, but like, good luck, or congrats, I should say.
Heck yeah. Yeah, they should be happy, totally.
Now, this next story...
pros want the smash.
Yes.
Pros want the smash.
They sure do. We've got a couple of professional athletes tweeting out at Nintendo or Instagramming. I thought it was pretty funny. NBA player Kyle Kuzma of the LA Lakers tweeted, "Dear Nintendo of America, can we get Super Smash Bros. From the Switch? Sincerely, your customer." And then a couple days later, NFL player Kyle Juszczyk, I believe is how... something like that, of the San Francisco 49ers, on his Instagram, he tweeted it or Instagrammed a picture of him and 5 of his teammates all holding, they're in Target with Switches and a bunch of games, and it goes, "These road game plan rides just got lit. Nintendo, we need Super Smash."
Yep.
So I just thought that was sort of cool to see some of the pro athletes. And it makes sense, if you're on the road so much, Switch is perfect.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I cannot wait. We always talk about it at work. Like, I cannot wait till it comes out. It's going to be so cool. Because, dude, I take my Pro Controller to work now, and Aaron and I, we play Splatoon for an hour every day. And it just works flawlessly, and it'll be so much fun. So, can't wait.
Look at who's having fun at work, you jerk.
Yep. Yeah. I have Wi-Fi at my work.
You know what I get from my work? Anger.
What? Yep. Hey, you get a nice bonus every now and then.
Do I?
I think you told me.
Oh, I won that one award.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
the biggest Jimmy of the year.
Hey, I'll take it. I hope I win it
this
year too.
You know what else I'll take? That would be awesome. Nepotism.
Yeah.
You know what I'll take?
What's that?
An Animal Crossing app on my phone.
No thanks.
Okay. Oh, weird. This is made in Unity?
Yeah. So, I mean, this is really old news by now.
I did not hear that.
Because
actually,
this direct, the Animal Crossing direct happened while we were recording with Ian and Lindsay last week.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't actually get to talk about it on the show. But, yeah, Animal Crossing Pocket
Way
Camp.
bigger than I thought it'd be.
Yeah, it's more, it's like a real Animal Crossing game. I mean, it's pretty close. Like, for a mobile game, like, I was totally anticipating some companion app where you fish, like you went fishing or something like that. But yeah, this I just got some bullet points. Again, this is sort of old hat, so I don't think we need to go too deep into it. But
right.
You manage your campsite instead of a house. It's got some RPG elements, like raising the friendship levels based on quests done for those animals. There are leaf tickets, which can be earned throughout the game, but also could be purchased with real money. That's how the money's going to generate, or the game's going to generate money, I should say.
Or Tom Nook can take your real money.
Yep, and he'll be happy to. The Bell the USD to Bell's conversion rate is very favorable for him. But yeah, these leaf tickets, they shorten the time required to craft items, acquire materials, find designs, etc. So,
mobile game.
Yeah, your mobile game microtransactions. But I mean, otherwise, it looks like it'll be sort of legit. I'm not super duper excited for it. When it comes out, I will absolutely play it. And I'm sure I'll enjoy it. But until then, it's still just a mobile game.
Funny thing is, this will probably earn more money for them than any and all past Animal Crossing games combined. But
actually,
and apparently Australia.
Well, yeah. I was actually going to comment on. I didn't write it down because I forgot, but I guess it came out that Nintendo says that Super Mario Run has still not actually reached acceptable purchase point, nearly a year after. So I guess they're probably going to look at all right, we relaunched that for $9.99, and it didn't do as well as, I know Fire Emblem Heroes makes a ton of money, and I think Animal Crossing is going to make a ton of money on mobile.
Oh, yeah. Well, very cool, and I think it's really funny that it's made in Unity.
Yeah.
That's really great.
Apparently...
so it's coming to Switch.
I believe they said, actually, Super Mario Run was made in Unity as well.
Very cool. Very interesting. I mean, yeah, Unity's a good engine. But that's going to be it for our news.
Yes, it is. We're going to take a quick little breather, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about a little game that came out. And it is essentially more of what we've been playing, but I think you guys know what we're going to be talking. Mario! And we'll be right back.
And we are back, and we're going to talk about Super Mario Odyssey! Okay, so brand new 3D Mario game. Okay, haven't had one of those since Super Mario 3D World back in 2013, I believe, right?
Yes, sir.
So it's been 4 years, which I can't believe it's been 4 years. And this is a return to form of the Super Mario 64 / Sunshine. More open worlds, not too far from Galaxy. You know, like this isn't a crazy difference. I think it's kind of halfway in between Sunshine and Galaxy.
Yeah, I think it takes a little bit from every single game before it, you know? It really does feel like the culmination of everything that 3D Marios have been.
I literally think there are seriously things from each game before it that are included in each, you know?
Yeah, and it works so well. I mean, the first thing I would like to talk about is just how good it controls. You know, Mario like the movement and the agency you have over Mario. You really feel like you're in control with the moveset he has, and what I think is really cool is how it evolves. You know, like it starts out with your basics, and then you start picking up little tricks. Like, oh, when I do a butt stomp and then I jump immediately afterwards, I get a little extra height, you know? And you sort of have that in your toolbox for challenges that you might face later on, you know? And then I started seeing GIFs and videos on YouTube and Reddit and all that stuff of all these crazy, you know, being able to use the cap to, you know, jump, bounce, flop on the cap, get another bounce, you know, like getting heights that normally you'd think would be impossible without, you know, taking over an enemy that would, you know, sort of let you do that. But just to see some of the crazy things people are doing, it's just like, man, I can't wait to see what else is done, you know, what else is possible.
Oh, man. Yeah, there's just so much you can do, even just without Cappy. But yeah. Yeah, so I guess we'll get into slight spoilery things.
Yeah,
right?
I was gonna say I feel like we're gonna avoid any major spoilers. But I'm assuming we're probably gonna talk about some shine. I keep calling them shines. Some moons that might, you know, be. Obviously, if we're talking about how you get a moon, it's gonna be a little spoiler-esque. But like I said, it won't be anything groundbreaking. Like, I mean, I haven't seen the end of the quote-unquote, you know, campaign yet. I'm still working there, so we're not going to talk any boss battles or anything too crazy, but more I think certain moons that maybe stuck out in our mind, and maybe some outfits and stuff. So minor spoilers is what I would chalk it up to.
What kingdom are you on?
I am in the Luncheon Kingdom.
Oh.
Luncheon, right?
Yeah, the really colorful one.
Yeah, the one with like the people that are forks.
Yeah.
And like it's all like food based.
I love it. That's probably my favorite one yet.
Oh, so you're beyond that.
Yes. I am.
I was pretty much I got to play. I didn't play it all yesterday, which is I don't like it, and I haven't played it all today yet. I'm having Mario withdrawals right now. So yeah, I mean, well, first off, actually, can I jump back a second and talk about the launch party real quick?
Yes, please. You met the Reg.
Yeah, so
people who didn't see our YouTube video, our launch day.
Yeah, Nintendo World Report was invited in for the media press portion of the event, which essentially was the event just closed off a couple hours before it was open to the public. So, which was nice because obviously less people got to walk around pretty easily. So I get in there and they've got like it was outside in between, right outside of Nintendo New York. They had like this portion of the road cut off, little like crossroad. Had it set up. They had like 8 different activities to do. You got a little passport when you went in, and it was like, hey, complete 4 of these activities, and you get a stamp after each one. Bring it back here, and you get some gear, some merch, giveaways and stuff. So initially I'm like, all right, there's this jump ropes, which obviously is like New Donk City. There was like RC racing. There was like take pictures with stuff, throw a hat, cornhole, just little tiny fun stupid little games like that. And there were a lot of kids there, so I'm like, I'm not gonna go in and start doing I'm not gonna cut in front of these kids and like, oh, I need to do the jump rope.
A media badge.
Yeah, like, get out of here, you punk. Yeah, so at first I was just taking video of just the event, what's going on, and first thing I see, I look over there, and there's Reggie. I'm like, no freaking way, it's Reggie, man. Like,
Reggie Fils-Aimé, my hero.
Yeah, like Reggie and Krista. So I like waved to Krista, and then I was like, oh my god, it's Big Reg. And someone asked for a picture, and I'm like, oh, that's it, I need to go in. And I was like, hey Reggie, you mind if I bothered you for a picture too? And he's like, no, of course, come on over. And he's like, I like your shirt. And I was like, oh, Reggie, you dog,
and
you stop
and you're like, oh, I'll never take it off.
Yeah, fangirl, and I'm like, but yeah, no,
man,
so
it's a great picture too.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool to meet Big Reg. Then after, a little bit of the event passed, I was like, all right, I'm going to go do the things where, like, kids aren't waiting in line, because I needed to get my Cappy hat, which I am wearing as we speak, my new podcasting hat.
It's a great hat.
So, it was really cool, and then they actually had a dance crew came out, and they danced to Jump Up Superstar, and that was really cool, too. And, so pretty much that was, like, the whole gist of the event. Then, I went in and checked out. They, with the passes, you could go play up in the top of Nintendo New York, but, like, at that point, I was like, you know what, I'm going to be buying and playing the game in, like, a couple hours from this point anyway, so I was like, I'm not even going to bother.
Right.
And then, I ended up catching the train home, and I looked, I was like, oh, no. It's like, I've got, like, 20 minutes till this train comes, otherwise I got to wait an hour. And I'm like, but I have so far to travel. Like, it was, like, 1.5 miles through the city, and I'm like, I'm never going to make it. And then I was like, hold on. Let me run a couple blocks, and I'll see how I feel, and, like, how close I am. And I was close enough, so there I am just running through the city, weaving in and out of traffic, with my Cappy hat on.
You were wearing it?
Yeah, oh yeah, man. I was like, I think that's the only
amazing.
reason I got there in time. And some girl, she must have been having like a cigarette on break, and she's like, nice hat. I'm like, thanks.
Awesome.
But so then I went and picked it up at Best Buy at midnight, and I was actually surprised by the turnout. There's about 30 people there, maybe even more. So pretty good turnout.
Cool, man. Awesome. I picked mine up at Best Buy at 10 a.m. or at noon on launch day.
Loser.
I know, like a loser, but that's just how it was.
Nah,
But
I played
that's my
so
story.
little after midnight
I
because I
met
was so
Reggie,
tired.
and then I ran through the city with my cap on, and this girl, this hot smoker chick, yelled at me, and then I barely made it, and then I went home at midnight and played until I passed out, and then I woke up and...
It was actually more like I got home and I took a nap, and then I woke up and I was like, oh, I'm so tired. I don't even want to play right now.
Yeah. Oh, man, I learned my lesson after the Switch launch. I will never... That was awful. I hated my Switch launch. Standing in line for 45 minutes at midnight, no. No dice.
Yeah, no,
Never again.
It wasn't so bad for me, but
Not worth it.
But anyway,
yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool.
let's get into more of the. All right,
Yes.
so we went over the movement and how he controls. Now, tell me how you feel about this game.
Okay,
you love
okay.
it, you hate it. Obviously, you don't
How
hate
about
it,
this? How about this? How about I give you a few things I like, a few things I don't like.
but all right, go.
Okay. Now, for the things I love, things I like, I love his movement, like you said. I love the rolling.
Yep.
Rolling is I think to me, I always do it on like 3D Land. You can do like a somersault. I do it all the time. But this one is like infinite.
Oh, it's so
Works.
satisfying to get that roll on.
And that's like the only way I travel. I just roll, and I love how you can, how the turning is kind of hard, but you can get it and it works great. Love it. Other thing, I love is I think that this could be the weirdest game in the world that I've ever played. I don't when I was playing through New Donk City, which that name in itself is so weird. Like it is so like what the heck is Donk? Like I get Donkey Kong, but Donk? And that's supposed to be for York? It's so weird, right? And
where do you think the original Donk is?
What?
Where do you think the original Donk City is?
I know, there has to be lore there. I know. But then, like, you're walking around and it's like, this city, like, the place I'm at, it's not even, like, it's like its own, like, little thing rising above the city around it that seems like a different world, and it's just the roads just stop and just you can just fall off, and all these people are just walking around that look like they're from the 50s, and I don't know why anything is going like. And Pauline is the mayor? What in the heck is going on? Like, it is the weirdest game ever. It is the weirdest thing. Yeah, and there's a lot of... I love New Donk City. I think I had so much fun playing that. It is... I wish it was bigger.
Well, I think revisiting might be when it really gets a lot of fun, unless you've already done that.
I've been... I think I have, like... I don't know how many moons I have, but I kind of get as many as I need, and then plus like 10.
Yeah, that's
each one.
Yeah, because I feel like I'll go along the main plot of what I'm supposed to do, quote unquote, and then like I venture off a little bit left and right, and then sort of push forward. I think for me with New Donk City, it was one of the places I don't want to say least excited to check out, but it was like, okay, we've seen a good amount of New Donk. Like, I want to see what other kingdoms there are, you know what I mean? But when I got into New Donk City, it was like, wow, this is awesome. Like, the intro and the outro, segments of the first time you go through New Donk.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil any of that. But the intro and outro is just, wow, that's amazing. So cool, so cool.
Yeah, but so weird, right?
Oh, it's definitely strange, but...
It feels like Mario, like what you're doing, but, dude, and it gets even crazy. It gets weirder. I'm telling you, But I really like, let's see, the Luncheon Kingdom is awesome. I've liked every single kingdom, like, for sure.
For me, my favorite kingdom, I think, so far, and... I think Luncheon could be one of my favorites, but I have not gone all the way through it yet, so I'm going to hold judgment on that one, or judgment. I'm going to say, for me, I was having a great time with Mario, and I was really enjoying it. It was great, this game's awesome, I love it, but when I really fell in love with it, like, wow, this is the Mario, you know what I mean, was when I was going through the Snow Kingdom. I had an absolute blast in the Snow Kingdom. Oh, just loved it.
Now, what did you love about it?
Everything. Like the cute little walrus town people and their coats. I think a factor also definitely comes into play that I just love snowy environments in general. So that
Jimmy's
definitely
all covered in snow.
Yep. So that definitely played a factor into it. But I don't know. I just really enjoyed it. That structure was laid out of sort of like you had 4 tasks to do to sort of push it forward. But then even after I did that, like then the outside area opens up quite a bit. And I went out there and I was just having fun out there. I don't know. It just, like I said, it just, that's when the game really clicked to me. And I was like, this is great. And then you move into New Donk. I think there might be a kingdom in between there. I forget. But then it was like New Donk, then Luncheon. So I feel like I'm really like hitting my stride with like, these are some of my favorite kingdoms coming in a row. So I'm super excited to see what's next, Right.
I'm thinking here, are you surprised how quickly and speedy the game is?
Yeah,
To me,
I
like,
mean,
I just going through, and it's like, man, it's just like an hour, or an hour and a half, and you're through a kingdom. You get like 30 moons in like an hour. You know what I mean?
I think if I have one complaint, and it's not necessarily a complaint in the sense that like I really dislike it or something, but something that it's taking me some time to get used to is just how devalued a moon is in comparison to previous shines, stars, etc.
Yeah, it's almost like there should be another step above moon.
Yeah, and like I know they give you the multi moons, like
Yeah.
when you beat like do a boss or whatever, some like a bigger accomplishment. But yeah, I think to me it's just again, like this might be a little spoil, like a minor spoiler, but like in every kingdom, when you go to the shop, you can just buy a moon for 100 coins.
Well, just one.
Yeah, no, I
yeah.
know, but it's still just like oh, okay, like that, you know what I mean? That just sort of like to me is like, oh, like that's a moon, you know what I mean? Like they're literally you could go buy them at the shop for 100 gold, like
Right.
So it's just strange that you're getting so many of them, and it's just like, oh, cool, another moon. Oh, cool, another moon. Oh, another moon. Where like obviously with
like, I just
shines
butt
and
stomped
stars,
this
you had
thing.
to work for it.
Like you're just walking and you just see a bump and you butt stomp it, and a moon comes out. It's like,
Yeah, it's just
okay.
like they give it
Yeah.
away for like it's like a participation award.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I see where they're coming from. I don't. Yeah, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just kind of a weird thing,
Yeah, no, like I said, it's not something I'm looking at and actively like, oh, I can't. I'm appalled by how many moons I'm getting. To me, it just sort of is more like, oh, cool, I found one, instead of like, oh, I earned one. And I
Yeah,
think that's sort of
yeah.
like the theme with Odyssey. It seems like it's more exploration based than necessarily challenge based. And granted, I know I'm still early on in the game, and from what I've heard, in post game it gets more challenging. But it's
so
not even
exciting.
necessarily that it's easy to find. It's just like remedial tasks earn you a moon sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. Man, I just lost what I was just gonna say. Have you ever?
Were you going to
was gonna
compare
go
it
into
to
my
Breath
next
of the
point.
Wild?
Well, I'll go on to say one thing I actually don't really like, which is funny, which I really haven't liked from the beginning of since we've known about Odyssey, is I'm not a fan of Cappy. I like the idea of Cappy. I like the idea. The hat, that doesn't bother me. I just don't like its voice, and I don't like the whole googly eye thing. It's so weird to me, and I just don't think it looks good at all.
All right. Yeah, I mean
just
that's
the
a valid,
character
a valid
of Cappy.
point.
I like the idea of a character of a hat. It's funny. But I just don't get the googly eye. It just adds to the weirdness, Also, I don't like the Odyssey. I think the Odyssey is really ugly and doesn't look cool and just looks really weird and
See, I like the Odyssey.
good.
What I like, well, I don't want to jump points too much here if you have more to talk about with Cappy, but
No, go ahead.
I was just, well, actually, before I even jump points, I have something to say about Cappy. What I think might be a little weird is with the ability to capture, enemies and stuff with Cappy. I think that just makes any puzzle that you run into or any platforming task that like you can't just jump and do. It's always like, okay, let me go find the enemy that's going to let me do this, and he's probably going to be pretty close. You know what I mean? Like, I
Right.
feel like a lot of the times it's like, oh, okay, I need to get up there. Oh, look, there's this guy, this little sprout that, when I take him over, his legs
Yes.
grow 10 feet tall and I can reach the top now,
Yeah, see, which I love those. And oh, thank you.
Oh,
You
no,
reminded me of-
I love that, but it also makes generally, like, it doesn't require much thinking to, like, do a task. It's like, oh, I just need to find this guy,
Which is, yes, and I do know, and I think one of the things that I sorely miss from the past, the like 3D world, like the 3D games, the the level-based ones, permanent upgrades. There are no permanent upgrades. There's no Tanuki suit. Well, so far, to be honest, who knows? Like, the game is so weird, I would not be surprised. I mean, it's kind of like you have a permanent boomerang suit, you know what I mean? They can do stuff, but it's like, and I know it's crazy to be like, I know you can literally like turn into anything, and it's awesome, like it's really cool, but there goes that kind of higher end of exploration where you need a Tanuki tail to actually get to this spot, and if you don't have it in this kingdom, or like you might not find the Tanuki tail right there, you might have to buy it at the shop, you might have to, you know what I mean? You might have to get it somewhere else and bring it in. Now, I don't know if that's everyone's favorite thing, but you can design that in a good way. Like, you know, if you could buy it at the shop, I don't think that would be a big deal. Then, like, you could try out different things, think, oh, if I had that, I could do that. But just going around to different places, I really always have liked, just because, you know, it almost does feel like a level-based game, you know, because you go so quickly from kingdom to kingdom. And, I just kind of wish that they were. I don't know how they'd work with the Cappy thing, and I don't know if it could work. But it's still that I still miss that sense of feeling powerful all the time, or you know, having that. I just love. Okay, I love Tanuki suits. I'm just gonna say it.
I just want my Tanuki, dang it.
Yeah.
No, I think and with some of those power ups, it was you know. Part of the battle was picking up that power up and then not getting hit as you got back to that other area. So like you know what I mean? Like so there was quite a bit of challenge in just accomplishing that.
Exactly.
But yeah, like I said, it's something that
a good point.
I don't totally hate. These and of course we're being nitpicky here. At least for me, the things I'm talking about, I don't despise, you know, when and to it's be not honest, ruining the experience. It's just, you know.
Well, and there are a bunch of you know, turning into a certain thing and then actually going across the level to use that at a different area. That does happen. So
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. So it's just there's so much stuff, right? It's an incredible game. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Oh, this is what I was going to go to. I have kind of made it a point to only play this on the big screen.
It definitely feels like a game that should just be played on the big screen.
I'm enjoying it so much. Like, it's so fun that, like, when I am out, like, at work and I can't really hear the volume too well and I'm just kind of distracted by other things, it's like, I don't want to play this now. Like, I want to experience it as much as I can, you know?
Yeah, no,
I don't know if that makes sense to you, but that's how it's been to me. And so, yeah, I haven't been playing it handheld that much. I mean, I have, and it works great, but I like playing it at home a lot better.
I mean, I'll be honest, even with Breath of the Wild, there were definitely times I've played it handheld, but the lion's share definitely came docked on the big screen. Just seems like those games deserve to be played up on the big boy screen.
See, that was so funny is because I played Breath of the Wild probably more on handheld, and I thought it worked a lot better because it's not as... it doesn't change as much as Odyssey does.
Yeah,
like,
a lot of just exploration.
And it, you know. But anyway, I thought that was interesting because I was like, you know what? I really do like playing this better at home. But it's cool I can play it on the go. It's totally playable. You know what I mean? I don't want to... say it's not, but...
Yeah. Now, what I was going to say before when we mentioned the Odyssey was that part of the Odyssey is probably part of my favorite element of this game, and that is collecting the purple coins from each kingdom. There are 100, but there are some kingdoms that have 50, and using those purple coins to purchase, first and foremost, new outfits for Mario, but also stickers and different knickknacks for the Odyssey, which I think is really cool. I bought a couple stickers thinking, okay, like they'd be on there, but like I didn't realize how big they really plaster them on the Odyssey, and it just looks so cool. To me...
Yeah, I love that concept. Customization is amazing.
To me, finding the purple coins is almost more satisfying than finding moons. Because I'm like, oh yeah, It's like I'm either getting a new outfit or I'm getting a dope sticker for the Odyssey, you know? It's like...
Yeah.
Totally. I'm loving it.
I look for those way... Like, I definitely like getting those more. And I should mention, amiibo support is so good in this game. I mean, it's not as good as I'd wish for. Like, not every amiibo works, and it's kind of weird. Like, you can't just plug them in and get your costumes.
Yeah, you need to find Uncle Amiibo.
Yeah, you need to find him, and then, like, you can only do 3 at a time. Because it sends them out, and it's some... Like, this is so weird. Like, Diddy Kong has his own suit, but Donkey Kong doesn't.
The best one ever, dude. The Diddy Kong Mario.
It looks I wear his... Okay, so what I'm rocking right now is the boxers with Diddy Kong's hat.
That's amazing.
It just looks so great.
I've been... You know what? I pretty much... Every kingdom I go to, I always buy, like, the kingdom exclusive one. And I usually rock that for a while. And I'm just having... It's so funny, because normally I'm not, like, a big... I need to change my costumes all the time, you know? But for some reason with Odyssey, man, it works so well.
I want to... Yes, we need to talk about this, because I think this is a huge thing that goes in with Nintendo and Amiibo and everything. It's that customization is so important that you don't realize, but it's so nice and so cool and adds so much, even though you're just changing the way your character looks. But the idea to make it how you want and look funny and look cool, whatever. I mean, the idea that I have my Luigi Amiibo and I get a Luigi outfit, that is so cool. And it's so important, and this needs to be in every game. Like this concept needs to be in New Super Mario and the next side-scrolling Mario. You know, being able to switch costumes, and they're really doing that a lot. You know, recently. I mean, especially with like Mario Maker, Yoshi's Woolly World, and you know.
I was going to say, even in Odyssey, when you jump into the 2D platforming elements, it's so funny to see all the different costumes in their 2D counterpart.
Yes.
You know.
I did notice though. I don't think Diddy Kong's does that. Which is really weird. So it's not for every single one.
I'll have to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Those. Yeah. No, I know. I thought that was kind of weird, but there's so many. Yeah, it's so good. I love the game. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. It doesn't mean it's perfect, but it's just a phenomenal game.
Yeah, I'm loving every bit of it. And like I said, it's been now 2 days since I've been able to get in there. So I'm looking forward to getting back into some more and just continuing to play. And I'm sure we're going to be talking more about Mario as the coming weeks come and go, because I think this is going to be a game that I'm going to try and 100%. I'm going to try and get all the moons and all the coins, and that's definitely something I'm going to try.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So... yeah, we'll hear about this more in the future, but as of now, we should wrap up our show. And you know the best way to wrap up the show, right? Craigslist Roundup. Yes. Oh, we got a doozy this week. So, I got one pickup this week, and I actually have it in my hands in front of me right now. So you can...
But I can't see it.
Can you hear it, though? I
can hear it all right.
Yeah, okay, so what I got is... Have you ever seen... Well, I've already showed this to you, but it's a Game Boy case. And it looks like a big Game Boy, like the original Game Boy.
Okay.
It's plastic. That's the sound.
There's somebody at your door, Perry.
Here, I'll rub it. So this is me rubbing it. That gives you a little...
You're a pervert.
But anyway, so yeah, this cool Game Boy case with a Game Boy, obviously, and a Game Light Plus, which
the Plus,
a Game Light Plus, this little add-on that it's cool. It can like slide it onto your Game Boy, and it works. It takes 4 AA batteries.
Oh no.
Yeah, but it's a magnifying glass and light for your Game Boy, and it looks like I haven't tried it yet, but it looks like it'll work great. And something I remember about Game Boys is they're so comfortable. The D-pad and the B and the A are so nice on the Game Boy. That's because it's so thick. It's really nice to hold. Anyway, so I got that little thing. And then plus, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 games.
Hot damn.
All in cases. We got Vegas Stakes.
Ooh wee. High roller.
Yeah, we got Super Breakout and Battle Zone. All these are kind of stinkers. We got Solitaire. We got Galaga and Galaxian. That's kind of cool. It's like on one. More on that later. Tetris. Got Tetris. That's good. I have like 5 of those now. Defender and Joust. Ooh, I gotta try Joust. I love Joust.
Ooh,
and then
yeah.
we have Side Pocket. It's a
pool game, right?
game.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And then Asteroids / Missile Command on one.
Some arcade classics.
One, I think, yeah. That's what they're called actually. That's what they're called. Arcade classics.
It's like I know what I'm talking about or something.
Yeah. Well, no, that's
No,
it's like a brand, Arcade Classic.
I was gonna say it was a guess, and it wasn't.
Yeah, no, it's like anyway. And then this last one, Wheel of Fortune, which I want to do a mini play on.
Dude, you have to.
Yeah, I will. And so all those in cases, Game Boy Light, Game Boy, in the case. Oh, and then like almost all of them have their manuals too.
Ooh,
in fact,
that's
all
nice.
of them have their manuals.
That's perfect.
Yeah, very cool. All this for the princely sum of 20 doll hairs.
Ooh, that's not too bad at all.
Nope, not bad.
Now, do you plan on reselling this stuff, or is this keeping it, or?
Keepsy weepsy.
Keepsy weepsy.
Ooh, the old keepsy weepsies. Yeah, you know what? For something like that, those games aren't probably gonna net you much. And
no, but I mean overall, it's probably like a good $60 to $70 value.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
When pieced out, So no, it's not. And I like the Game Boy Light, and I want to try it. It looks so funny. It's amazing. Now I'm trying to figure out how to get the dang thing off. Anyway, you slide that. Oh, there you go. You just gotta. Anyway, yeah. So that'll do it for my. Oh no! It won't do it. Oh, I'm so glad I didn't say it. Because I was picking it up, and it was like from this, this probably like mid-40s woman, and she was showing me, and she's like, "Yep, I got it." It's definitely, she had this, like it was hers back when it came out, and she's like, "Yeah, this is the black and white one. Apparently they made like a color one."
They've come quite. Did you whip out the Switch?
No, I didn't do that.
Look, it plays 3D too.
Yeah, I know, and it was just so funny. And then she's like, "Yeah, I put in Galaga in there and fired it up, and it's pretty fun. I forgot how fun it was. Just really, really sweet.
You
girl.
should have been like,
that's when I realized
I'll sell it back to you for $40.
Well, that's when I realized I really should be recording my interactions with these people.
Gotta get a camera, man. We can make a
Secretly.
YouTube series out of it.
Well, no, I'm thinking like a mic in my pocket, and just so I can tack it onto these for gold like that, How funny.
The Galaga?
Yeah, it's really
Perfect,
good. But
perfect.
yeah, I'm really happy with this buy. I've always wanted one of these cool Game Boy cases.
And now you got
cool.
one.
And now I got one.
And you know what you're also about to get?
What's that?
A game that I demand you to play.
I demand you.
And I've been thinking, I've been
Oh.
stewing on the idea, and I think I've come up with a game that.
Okay.
But here's the thing: it's going to be a joint. I demand you. It's going to be I demand you and Jill,
Uh-oh.
and you guys better play Stardew Valley.
Oh, sounds good to me, buddy.
Yeah, I think
Heck yeah.
I think that's a game that you just need a little extra push to pick it up and play, but once you start, I think you're going to have a hard time putting it down. And I especially think Jill's going to have a hard time putting it down. So, I think a fun game that both you will enjoy, and I look forward to hearing what you guys got to say.
Beautiful. And like I told you during our eShop roundup, Elliot Quest is your game, buddy.
I won't do it.
And you know what? I think it's fair now. You can pick it on the Wii U, on the 3DS, and the Switch. So obviously, you're gonna pick it on.
Well, I think I'm gonna look. It's come out for a few other platforms as well, right?
No, yeah, Amazon Fire.
I could play it on Windows, my Wii. I could play it on PS4. But I'm probably going to pick it up on my Switch, so.
Oh, I was setting it up for you to say you're going to pick it up on Wii U. But
I'm not some sort of
okay.
monster.
That's okay. But it's $9.99 on Switch. It's a really good price. Really great game. I picked it up today, and I was playing it, and it's just like, oh, I love this game so much.
Well,
it's like, dang it, I demand him to play it.
Perfect. We'll both get a chance to talk about these games in probably a couple weeks.
Yeah.
You know, once I get around to it, and Stardew Valley is definitely a game you're going to want to put some time into.
Yeah, we'll set a deadline. 2 weeks.
Let's make it 3.
Or 3 weeks, yeah. I mean, 2 weeks from next week is what I was thinking. But yeah.
But without further ado, I think that's going to bring us to the end of this show. We tried to be brisk, and I think we did. I think we
cut off a good 20 minutes.
We accomplished our goal of being brisk. I think the content we had was just too much to do too fast. But I think we did a good job. If you count like the 8 or 9 games you got in your Craigslist roundup, plus the 28 games and all the games, this has to be a record. We probably talked about close to 50 different games on the podcast today.
Oh my goodness.
Bonkers.
Have fun putting those in on our show notes or on on the article.
I quit.
You can't quit now, Bobby.
You Jimmy. But without further ado, as I was saying, you can check us out on Twitter at Talk Nintendo Pod, Talk Nintendo POD. We are Talk Nintendo on YouTube. If you click the description button on your podcast services, there's a link that'll take you right there. Otherwise, you can just search Talk Nintendo. We pop up there.
Yeah, leave us a review, a 5-star review, please.
Yep, 5 stars only.
Yep, if there's a 4-star, we bail.
Yeah, we're gonna write a letter to Amazon, although it's not Amazon at all. It's iTunes. Anyway, thank you
Dear
for
Amazon.
Dang you, Amazon! I hate you now. I really do.
All right. Anyway.
But anyway, yes, that's gonna be it. Thanks for checking out the show, and we will see you next time.
Yeah. Hey, the back of my Game Boy case says manufactured exclusively for ALS Industries, and then quote manufacturers of really good stuff.
Hey Reggie, you mind if I bothered you for a picture too?
Okay, it's like the opposite of Sonic, okay?
Sounds like a game I'll like already. And the 6 isn't like just a weird elongated banana? Guess what Jimmy'd be double dipping?